What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding lately. I know I really went into it in the last video about what I've been up to, why I haven't been posting as much, but believe me, I have every intention of posting way more. The holiday season is now upon us, and so I am doing everything that I can to get as much content to you guys, as much content made for you guys as I can before I head home for the holidays. And then Shane and I are going to Peru, and I really am going to try and film something there. It'll definitely be more of a vlog style, but I think it'll be like, I would hate to go to Peru and not be able to show you guys everything that we did there, or at least some of the things. So just know that I didn't forget about you. I love you guys, and especially after the holidays, I am going to be just like back on my regular schedule. The first week that I'm back, it might be a little tough. I just have to get something done. And so I will be like, not incapacitated, but I'll need a few days of rest, and then I will be back at it. I swear. I miss it. I miss it so much. And I've had this dish on my list of things to make for 3 months, I don't know, a really long time. Nduja Carbonara. So Nduja, if you guys are not familiar, is basically a spicy spreadable salami. So you could literally spread it onto toast or whatever. And I thought it would be super fun to make a carbonara with it. I know it's not a traditional carbonara, but it is made in the exact same way that a traditional carbonara is made. Traditional carbonara starts off with pork jowl or guanciale. So you render the guanciale in a pan, you get all the yummy fat out of it. Then you add your cooked pasta, give it a toss, and then you add raw egg and cheese and really stir to get this creamy, cheesy sauce. Also, pasta water, huge ingredient here. It really helps add to the sauce and helps bind it all together. I save extra pasta water every single time for leftovers because it just livens up any leftovers that has pasta in it. All right guys, let's get into this. I'm a little nervous because I've never had Nduja before. So it could be just like outrageously spicy and I had no idea. Either way, let's get into it. P.S. I've had like my curtain closed for a while because the sun was just like hitting a reflection on the window across the way. But I think it might be semi-done now. Doing things. Ah, here I am. Really saucy. Really saucy. Thanks, pasta water. All right, everyone. First bite for you. All right, guys. Cheers. It smells a little spicy. It does have a nice heat. It's even got a little bit of acidity to it too. That Nduja. Whew. And you still get the flavor of that shredded cheese. And kind of the like lusciousness of the egg. I really want to make grilled cheese out of this Nduja too. I think that'd be so good. With like a creamy tomato soup of some kind. So I told you guys Shane and I are going to Florida for the holiday. We're going to Peru, and we've made 2 reservations so far in Peru, and they're both owned by the same chef. His name is Gaston, which I think is just super fun. Reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. I definitely got the sauciness down this time. I think I've got like another cup and a half of pasta water reserved too. It doesn't hurt to save more than you think you need. So this guy, Gaston, whose full name is escaping me right now, he has a flagship restaurant in Lima. So we will be eating there. And then he's got another restaurant in Cusco. I want to say it's called like Chicha, something like that. And we are eating there on New Year's Eve. So really excited about that. And I can't tell you about it yet, but I've prepared something extra special for me and Shane to do on New Year's Eve. It's our anniversary. We had our 2-year wedding anniversary. And last year we were in the Keys, and he surprised me with this helicopter ride all over top of like the Key West, like Lower Keys area. It was awesome. Slightly terrifying because I am afraid of heights and kind of afraid of helicopters. The thing that I got him though is definitely like a something you probably don't want to do if you're afraid of heights, but I know he loves it, so I'm just gonna like suffer a little bit for it. I'll tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you right now, but I'll tell you. So I believe that I'm posting this before Christmas. If I am, Merry Christmas. Merry almost Christmas. I am curious to know what you guys do. I know not everybody is Catholic or Christian, and to be honest, I'm not really either of those things. I'm more agnostic than anything else, but my family still celebrates Christmas. It's just about the tradition, the family stuff. So I'd love to know what you guys do, what your traditions are during the holidays. For me, I always go, it actually used to be my aunt and uncle's house, but now it's my cousin's house. My mom is one of 10. Oh, I know, it's like a lot. And so one of her oldest sister's son and his wife, we go to their house now for Christmas Eve. They have a party every single year. So we always go around, I don't know, like 5 or 6 o'clock. We do dinner, we have drinks, and we always play White Elephant. And it's so fun, like so fun. So every year, and this is like another part of the tradition, I bring a different flavored alcohol every single year. So the first year, the year I like kicked it off, I made candy cane vodka, which was so good and so easy. Seriously, like you don't need a recipe. You just crush up a bunch of candy canes. You can put them in whole, but the bigger they are, the longer they'll take to dissolve. So you just put a bunch of candy canes in some vodka and let it dissolve, and that's it. It's candy cane vodka. Huge hit. Huge hit. So I've been doing it ever since. I've made homemade limoncello. I did like a pre-batched espresso martini, I think 2 years ago. It's been a lot of fun. I think I did like a rum one year, and this year, oh, can I tell you guys? Maybe I'm posting it like on the day of the party, so like who cares? But when we went to Vegas, we like stocked up on some things, and so I'm adding said things to a bottle of rum, and I'm calling it reefer rum. I know, it's great. Honestly, I feel like it just still tastes like rum. It was awesome because when we went there, I was just gonna get gummies. Like, I was gonna just put the gummies in like the rum or the vodka. I hadn't even decided yet. And I was gonna let it dissolve like I did with the candy canes. And the guy's like, oh no, we have this elixir and it's like half the price, like same amount of stuff, but it's just half the price and like way smaller. It's already in liquid form. So I got that. It's meant to be like passion fruit flavor, which I love. I love passion fruit. It tastes nothing like passion fruit. Nonetheless, I thought the passion fruit would go well with the rum. So I actually made a bottle already for our Christmas party that we had here. I'm not sure if I told you about it actually. The Christmas party we had. I should. We'll talk about that in a second. This is very reminiscent of chorizo, by the way. I made a bolognese with chorizo at one point, and it tasted very, very similar to this. So my families, we always play the white elephant there. And the other tradition we have with white elephant is lottery tickets, because our limit is like 25 bucks usually. And so lottery tickets are really cheap, but they have like big payoffs. So my family will get like seemingly a really awful gift. Like nobody wants this gift, but they'll like hide the lottery tickets in there somewhere. It'll be like on the bottom of the box. It'll be like inside of something. So people will like dissect these gifts looking for lottery tickets, try to pretend like they don't see them, and people are like, you have to say. So Shane and I wanted to start kind of like our own traditions. And so we had a Christmas party here a couple weeks ago now, and we did a white elephant because I wanted that to like carry over. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the exact same thing that I do for my family stuff, and I'm making the flavored alcohol. So that's why I did the reefer rum. This is so clever, right? I made myself absolutely crazy about this Christmas party too. I just wanted it to be perfect. And I know like perfect is, nothing is ever perfect, but I wanted this to like, it was my baby. I created the menu. We decorated awesome. Like we got to control is really the biggest thing. We got to control every piece of it. And so it was so fun making the menu. We made a charcuterie wreath. Actually, a friend of mine like put it together. But I got all this stuff for the charcuterie wreath. It was so stunning. And I didn't take any pictures, of course. When I'm super stressed, like the smallest things overwhelm me. So with everything going on at the party, I just like couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered to do any like sort of anything that looked like work. I couldn't do it. I made Ina Garden's Green Goddess dip. It's actually a dressing that I turned into a dip and served with like, you know, crudité and everything. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Secret ingredient is anchovies. And it's got that like Caesar salad kind of flavor to it. Tons of basil. Oh my gosh. I made a caramelized onion dip. Oh my gosh. I bought these truffles from Whole Foods, and I think it was like 10 bucks for the box. They are so good, guys. Like so good. Just like plain chocolate truffles with cocoa powder on the outside. So good. They're not like Lindt. You know, Lindt has like the harder outer shell and then it's like soft in the center. These are just like all the same consistency all the way through with cocoa powder on the outside. They're like nice and like semi-sweet, bittersweet. Somewhere in there. Oh my gosh, what a find. Because I'm like, I can't make everything. I can't make all of the desserts. I was going to make a couple of desserts and then I just like scratched them. I'm like, no. We got buntinis from Nothing Bundt Cakes, which if you guys haven't had Nothing Bundt Cakes, it is so good. Their cakes are so moist. So moist. Sorry if that triggers anybody, but they just really are. And to have like the little baby ones with like the frosting on top. They have funfetti. Lemon is like one of my favorite flavors. So we got those. I had the truffles. We got cookies from a local bakery. And I had some like candy on the table. I made some sipping chocolate, which was like my attempt at the Angelina chocolate, like hot chocolate situation in Paris, if you guys are familiar. It is the best, the richest. It's basically just melted chocolate with a side of whipped cream, and you like add whipped cream into it and it like melts and becomes cream. It's decadent. I wouldn't say I did it exactly the way I should have. So I'll have to try it again. But oh my gosh. And then Coquito. I don't know if you have ever heard of Coquito. It literally translates to little coconut. But it's like a Puerto Rican style eggnog. And oh my gosh. Easiest thing ever too. It's like sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, rum, cream of coconut, fresh nutmeg, cinnamon. You can add like horchata into it. It's addicting. It's addicting. It's so good. I made these pigs in a blanket, but breakfast style. So they have these mini milk buns at Trader Joe's. They're like this big. And so I got those, and I found breakfast sausage also at Trader Joe's. So I just stuck the end of a spoon inside of the milk buns and like twirled it around. God, I hope I haven't like told you guys this story already. I haven't been filming very much, so I can't remember what we've talked about. I know what we talked about in the last video. So I just like made a big hole inside of these milk buns and then shoved the breakfast sausage in there, and then made like a French toast batter. Battered them up, French toasted them, and served it with maple syrup. Oh my God. Huge hit. I also made cranberry meatballs, but I wasn't like overly impressed with them. I made the meatballs myself, and those turned out great. The sauce, I was like, I wanted to make cranberry meatballs, but the only recipes I could find were like add cranberry sauce and ketchup. And it's exactly what it tasted like, cranberry sauce and ketchup. I'm like, I gotta figure something else out next time. This is very like fruity, jammy, by the way. It's the Josh Pinot Noir. I normally get the Cab. I know I drank this in the last video too, so I'm sure I said something then. It's not bad. I prefer like a drier or tanniny experience. So after we're done opening gifts and everything for White Elephant at my cousin's, we've been going out on his boat, which is so fun because he obviously lives on the water. There's tons of people that put Christmas lights on their boats, on their houses. There's like some really nice houses on the water. So it's nice to go and like take a boat ride and see all the lights and everything. And we passed by where Shane and I got married at the lighthouse, the Jupiter Lighthouse, and right across the water is where our reception was at the Pelican Club. So it's always fun to like pass by and reminisce and everything. And then on Christmas, we just kind of hang out. We wake up slowly, we have a mimosa, or I really love to have like a decaf coffee with amaretto to get in the Christmas spirit. When I was little, it was like we woke up like an hour before we were supposed to, me and my brother, and we'd like just be like fighting it, everything in our power, like not go downstairs and see everything, you know. Christmas was like a bit extravagant when I was younger. My parents would get each other like all designer everything, and me and my brother pretty much got everything we would ask for. It's nice growing up like that. But then you kind of go into the real world where you can't afford any of those things for yourself, and you're like, oh, this is not nearly as fun. But now my business is going well enough that I'm at least able to have a small taste of that, and it feels really, really good. Like, talk about a motivator. I know some people, like, they grow up with money and not really worrying about anything financially. And it kind of puts them in this place of laziness, like they don't want to work for anything. I know a lot of people like that. And for me, I don't, you know, I can't be on my parents' dime. I couldn't be on my parents' dime forever. And I wanted to be just as successful, if not more, to be able to afford all of those things for myself. And so that's what I'm on a mission to do. And I'd say I'm on my way, which feels so good, so good. You guys have no idea. I struggled for a long time doing this job, and for it to start to be paying off, it's just such a relief. Oh my gosh, such a relief. All right, guys, well, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I could eat more, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna stop. Before I go home for the holidays, I'm always like kind of stressed out because I know when I go home, there's gonna be a lot of eating, like way more than I do normally, a lot of drinking. It just, you know, your whole schedule kind of gets thrown off. Your routine gets thrown off. And in anticipation of that, I'm trying to eat a little bit less leading up to being there and being in Peru. I'm hoping Peru isn't as much of an issue because they've got so many things like ceviches and tiraditos, like raw, fresh fish stuff. So fingers crossed that that ends up being like a lighter fare experience eating wise. At least we'll be doing a fair amount of walking, so that'll like balance that out. But yeah, with my parents, it's like, if you're not going out to dinner, you're going to, you know, we're going to the Christmas Eve thing, we're drinking a bunch and we're eating a bunch, and it just takes a toll. And like after the holidays, I'm like 5 pounds heavier, and I need to kind of like back off of the eating again for a little while. So right before Christmas and right after the holidays and everything, you should expect that I'm going to be eating not as much as usual. I'm actually going to be filming tomorrow too, which is something I haven't liked doing, is filming 2 days in a row, but it's my last opportunity before I leave tomorrow. And I have had this giant spaghetti squash. I mean, it's like this big for like 2 months. They stay good for so long. So I'm going to be making a twice baked spaghetti squash. I'm just like actually really excited about it. With what am I doing? Spinach and artichokes with this roasted garlic lemon sauce, and like top with cheese, bake it again. Ooh, I am very excited about it. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this different take on the classic carbonara. It is a little spicy. It's a little smoky. The Nduja flavor for me was a little overpowering here. I definitely prefer the classic bacon version. Maybe this could benefit from some tomatoes being added. I know that I did that with the anchovies, but I feel like that burst of freshness and acidity would really help balance this out a little bit more. Again, this is very similar to when I used chorizo. So you could do this exact same thing and just use chorizo instead. If you're like a big chorizo fan, then I think you would really like this too. It's Nduja. It's N apostrophe D-U-J-A, Nduja. So if you like that sort of thing, then I think you would absolutely love this. I have seen recipes where people have used pancetta or guanciale and then added the Nduja in a smaller amount on top of those other meats. So maybe that would also be delicious. You see this light that's coming in? Do you see it? This is what I have to deal with. I look like a ghost. This was super creamy though, I will say that. So I added a cup of pasta water into 6 whole eggs, and a lot of the recipes I see call for like egg yolks and maybe 1 or 2 whole eggs, but I just don't like wasting the full egg. And I don't really have any plans to use the whites at this moment in time, so I just threw the whole egg in there, whatever. If you want to make it extra rich, you could do only egg yolks. I used a little bit more cheese than the recipes called for. Recipe says a half a cup. I used a cup because I like. So yeah, about a cup of pasta water into the eggs and the cheese, and then I added another probably half of a cup into the pasta with the Nduja just to kind of wet it a little bit more. So cup and a half, got about a cup and a half left for leftovers. Comment below what you would like to see me make when I return from my vacation. It'll be all about comfort foods. This is why I saved the Nduja for winter. It just felt like a comfort food dish. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm blinded by the light, literally. Blinded by the light. Comment below if you have any questions for me. I haven't been checking as much as I should, but now that I am asking you to, I will. Comment below if you want me to answer any questions that you might have for me. A reminder that I just spent so much of my time working on this fitness program to redo it and make it just super freaking awesome for you guys. So if you are all on board the I want to eat what I want and not feel guilty and still be able to get into shape or stay in shape or whatever, this program is for you. There's a link in the description of the video if you would like to check us out. There is a 7-day free trial that we are offering. The code is also in the description of the video, so use that so you try us out risk-free. I hate sounding like a salesperson. Anyways, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, Happy anything that you celebrate. Sending love to you and your families. I hope that you have a happy, relaxing holiday, a happy new year. And I mean, I'll be filming again tomorrow, so we'll be talking again tomorrow, but just wanted to say how much I appreciate you guys, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you. You've made this one of my best years yet. And yeah, I can't wait to be here back with you guys way more at the start of the year. All right, guys, thank you again so much for joining today. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.